What if the most powerful water filter on Earth costs $1, not $10, not $100? A single crumpled bill. What if ancient civilizations cracked the code 2,000 years ago and the $80 billion water industry has been relying on your ignorance ever since to keep their profits intact? Hide this with lawsuits. They didn't bury it with patents. They hid it the smarter way, with convenience, with sleek branding, with plastic housings and monthly subscription reminders, and the quiet, comfortable lie that modern always means better. This is the secret they built an entire industry to make you forget, and it starts in a jungle. The Mayan Discovery. The year is 2020. Archaeologists are excavating the Corriental Reservoir in Tikal, Guatemala, the lifeblood of one of the most sophisticated civilizations ever to exist on this continent. And at the inlet of this 2,000-year-old reservoir, they don't just find rocks. They stop, they look closer, and they realize these aren't random stones dumped by chance or time. This is a deliberate, multi-stage machine, engineered without electricity, designed without laboratories, built without a single gram of plastic. Layer 1, coarse quartz sand, catching the visible debris. Layer 2, a specific volcanic mineral called zeolite, doing something far more invisible and far more powerful. Now here is where it stops being archaeology and starts being something that should make you genuinely angry. The nearest source of this zeolite was 18 miles away, a place called Bajo de Azuca. The Maya didn't grab whatever sediment was sitting at the riverbank. They made a decision. They sent people out, through jungle heat so thick it presses against your lungs, through terrain that has no roads, no wheels, no machinery. People carried these rocks, heavy, dense, unforgiving loads of mineral stone, on their backs, in baskets, across 18 miles of Central American jungle. Think about what that actually means physically, not metaphorically. We're talking about real human bodies, sweating through real effort, dedicating real days, possibly weeks, of their lives to transport a specific rock. Not gold, not food, a rock, for a water filter. If that level of deliberate, back-breaking commitment doesn't tell you that this mineral does something extraordinary, something irreplaceable, then nothing will. These people paid for their clean water in sweat and miles, not in monthly subscription fees, and they knew exactly what they were buying. But what did they understand about this rock that took modern science 2 millennia to catch up to? That's the question that unravels everything. The molecular secret. At the molecular level, zeolite looks like a honeycomb engineered by obsession. Millions of microscopic cages, tunnels, and interlocking channels. A crystal lattice so precise it seems almost designed rather than geological. And buried inside that structure is one invisible, ruthless superpower. A permanent negative charge. Now consider what's lurking in your water right now. Ammonia from agricultural runoff. Lead from aging pipes. Mercury from industrial discharge. Copper from corroding infrastructure. Every single one of these toxins carries a positive charge, and this is where ancient geology becomes molecular warfare. Zeolite doesn't just block dirt like a physical barrier. It traps toxins, strips heavy metals, and magnetically locks away ammonia, simultaneously, continuously, without being asked. Scientists call this a molecular sieve. The formal measurement is called cation exchange capacity, CEC. What it means in practice is this: the zeolite doesn't absorb the poison like a sponge absorbs water. It conducts a trade. It offers harmless sodium ions in exchange for the dangerous ones, pulls the threat inside its crystalline cages and seals them in. The toxin doesn't pass through. It doesn't get stored temporarily. It gets imprisoned. Your charcoal filter operates on completely different and far more limited physics. It's a sponge. It absorbs contaminants passively, fills up gradually, and eventually reaches saturation. At that point, the filter doesn't stop. It keeps sitting in your pitcher, looking clean, while it quietly begins releasing what it once caught. It fails without warning and without ceremony. Zeolite doesn't saturate the same way. It doesn't weaken with use. It exchanges, and every exchange makes the water cleaner. That's not a marketing promise. That's electrochemistry. That's the same ionic science described in university textbooks and peer-reviewed journals. The Maya had none of those. No periodic table on a classroom wall, no electron microscope, no PhD. And yet, they engineered a system that exploits the fundamental electrical behavior of ions, behavior that took modern civilizations centuries to formally name and describe. So if this science is this clean, this ancient, and this thoroughly proven, why is it nowhere near your kitchen counter? The infinite secret. Every filter ever sold to you carries one engineered weakness. It fills up, it saturates, it dies, and the industry doesn't treat this as a flaw to solve. They treat it as a feature to monetize. They hand you the device at a low price, sometimes nearly free, and then they sell you the cartridge, and then another, and then another. You don't own a water filter. You own an appliance that has placed you on a permanent payment cycle. You are not buying clean water. You are renting access to it month after month from a corporation that profits every single time your filter reaches the expiration date they engineered into it. Zeolite collapses that business model entirely, and the process that makes it possible has a name: brine regeneration. When your zeolite is exhausted, when the cages are packed with captured lead, ammonia, and dissolved metals, you don't throw it away. You don't order a replacement. You take it to your sink. You mix salt and water into a concentrated brine solution and you submerge the mineral. The sodium ions in that brine, also positively charged and aggressive about it, flood into the zeolite structure and physically evict every trapped toxin from every cage. The contaminants transfer into the brine water. You flush it down the drain, you rinse the rocks clean, and your filter wakes back up at 95% of its original capacity. No plastic to discard, no cardboard box to recycle, no subscription email to ignore, no product to reorder. $1, one bag, one lifetime of clean water. The Maya didn't engineer planned obsolescence. They engineered permanence. They built something meant to keep working indefinitely because they understood that the value of a tool isn't in how often you replace it. It's in how long it refuses to fail you. But history alone isn't evidence enough. So let's put it to a test that removes all doubt. The torture test. 2 samples, controlled conditions, 0 brand loyalty. Sample A, ordinary tap water, run through a leading brand name pitcher filter. The kind with the glossy packaging. The kind with the app that reminds you when your subscription is due. The kind half of America has sitting on their refrigerator shelf right now. Sample B, swamp water, deliberately, aggressively contaminated. Run through the Maya filter. Layered quartz sand and raw clinoptilolite zeolite. No logo, no Bluetooth connectivity, no recurring charge. We test for ammonia and heavy metals, the 2 categories that charcoal filters don't just underperform on, they fail at quietly, without ever alerting you. The brand name filter looks convincing. The water runs clear. It tastes clean. But run the numbers. Ammonia levels barely moved. Lead was partially reduced, not eliminated. The sponge was already operating at half capacity, still triggering subscription renewal, still presenting itself as protection while delivering something far less than promised. The Maya filter, processing swamp water, returned ammonia readings near 0 and heavy metal concentrations below detection threshold. From swamp water, from $1's worth of volcanic rock and a layer of sand. A geological mineral hauled through a jungle 2,000 years ago didn't just compete with the modern plastic alternative, it made it look embarrassing. So the question is no longer whether this works. The question is who decided you shouldn't know. The industry conflict. The global water filtration industry generates over $80 billion annually, and it runs on a deception so normalized, so thoroughly embedded in daily life that most people have never once paused to question it. Sell the hardware affordably, sell the refill endlessly. It's the razor and blade model, repackaged, applied to your drinking water, and dressed up in the language of health and safety. Zeolite annihilates that model, which is exactly why it has no Super Bowl commercial, no celebrity partnership, no influencer campaign, because you cannot patent a rock, you cannot trademark geology, there is no cartridge to manufacture, no algorithm to optimize your reorder behavior, no profit margin hiding inside a mineral that costs $1 and lasts forever. So the industry doesn't attack zeolite, they do something far more effective. They ignore it into irrelevance, drowning it out with advertising spend and the cultural assumption that newer, shinier, and more expensive always means superior. We are paying a monthly subscription to drink water. Water, the most fundamental biological requirement for human survival. And we're doing it voluntarily because the alternative was never marketed to us. It was just sitting in the earth, waiting. Conclusion. No electricity, no plastic, no degrees, no monthly fee. A civilization that predates modern chemistry by 2,000 years engineered a water filtration system so molecularly precise, so structurally intelligent that researchers in 2020 were genuinely stunned to find it. They used a mineral that captures toxins through ionic magnetism, resets with salt water, and costs less than a cup of coffee. They carried it 18 miles through jungle heat because they understood its value in a way we have collectively forgotten. The science confirms it. The history proves it. The test results don't lie. The greatest solutions were never invented. They were always there. In the earth, in the geology, in the ancient understanding that nature already solved most of the problems we keep paying corporations to pretend to fix. The Maya remembered what the earth offered. We just stopped looking.